say that we're on air. All right, last video, I was working on the add bank card, wiring up specifically the XAML of adding a bank card to the view model. And that's where I want to continue off at. So specifically, I have this initialize method that I just added. Now, I haven't invoked this anywhere on the client, but this initialize method should populate the types of cards that is available if someone wants to add a new bank card, hence Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, etc. What else? Something else is that I went through if I go add bank card.xaml, and everything should line up for right now. But what I need to do is I need to actually assign that view model to the XAML file. And so specifically, there's an app foundation library. There's a Pelagic over here, and I have this view model factory. Okay. So I already have a bank cards view model. And I need to handle this add bank cards view model over here. Okay. Now, it looks like there's a bank card dependencies here, and then there's a add card dependencies right here. Okay. And so if I look at my view model for add bank cards, we see that the dependencies for that is an account, query bank cards, accepted, which probably should have a better name. Maybe query bank cards supported, which I think I probably had originally. And I don't know what that was. Hold up, let's go back. Query bank cards supported, something like that. So account, query bank cards supported, and there's an attempt to add, and there's a arbitrary handlers, which should be called, I could probably call that a, let me scroll up some. Card failure handlers. All right, so now that is clear. And then there's just error handlers down there. Okay. Now what? Well, again, there's already this notion of a add card dependencies. So there's an application, there's a page, there's an account. Now there's a handlers for request page that I don't think we need that. Or do we? We probably do. When you add a card, I think 9 times out of 10, you're just going to pop the page off of the journal stack, the navigation stack, page navigation stack. You just pop it off, and it will return back to whatever page was there before. And so that needs to just be, I don't think I need to have a handler for that. I think that just needs to be broadcasted as a message. So we won't need, I don't think, a request page property in here. And then there's error handlers, right? So specifically, there's, if I could go back, you have application page account, okay, and then we have a we'll have a query bank card supported, which I think Maybe we could just call this query for right now. Okay, or you could say query supported. And it looks like it's going to be the same thing we just originally had. Okay. Something like that. And there's a attempt add, right? So we have a, call this try add. And that is a attempt add. Okay. Uh-oh, go back. And there is a add bank card failure reason. And there's supposed to be a handler for that. So there's a bank card fail handlers, which is supposed to be, says add bank card failure reason. So you have add bank card failure reason, and that's supposed to be a, how does this work? This is supposed to return a unit, I think, and it's supposed to be a list. Something like that. And uh-oh, is there anything else? There's this error description for all the other handlers, or for all the other errors. So that's this right here. Okay, so this looks kind of messy. Is there anything else that could be done? Well, maybe there can be something like type error handlers equals, and then you can do something over here, and you can say that there will be a for, not sure what conventions I use, error handlers for, like maybe that right there. And then bank card failed. Bank card, we could say add bank card. Something like that. Okay. And then maybe there's just a you could say other, and then that would just be a handle error list, which I have to figure out what that is. Error description unit. Okay. So we have something like this right here. And so this over here, add bank card failure reason, that takes that serves as input, and then it returns a unit. Maybe that should be its own type. So specifically, maybe I can say something like, I don't know, let's keep it down here. Say type handle, add bank card failure. And that's a mouthful, but we'll just roll with it for right now. And then we can say over here that, oh, what am I doing? It's how does this work? Equals this right here. And I think, yeah. So we should be able to do this right here. Something like that. So now you have handle, add bank card, failure, or you could say error, or you could say exception. I think failure is probably a better word than exception. And so now what? Well, now you have error handlers 4. And then we can hopefully get rid of this error handlers right here and get rid of this bank card failure right here. And then we'll have error handlers, which I'm curious if we really should be using the term error versus failure handlers or fault handlers. I feel like fault handlers may be better. And so that is on my radar. So now what? Well, so that is going to be our error handlers 4. That's what that's going to map to. Something like that. Anything else? Well, we have query bank card supported. Okay. Maybe that can just be called query for right now. Okay. So means that we could probably bring this in. Bring this in. And so you have account, you have query, you have triad, and you have error handlers. And then you have your page handlers here, which I don't think I should need. All I think I need to do is just say that, well, yeah, I do, because if there's an error that occurs, we want to display an error page. So this handlers right here is still needed. Of course, I think this should probably be called a page request handlers, like that. Do something like that over here. Okay. Does everything still build? I think all I defined was a type. I don't think I use that type anywhere. And if this builds, then I think I want to update this handlers up here as well for consistency. This looks like it's going to build. So it go. Okay, so that builds. So I want to update you. I want to update. I want to. What just happened? I want to update you. Name you that over here. Then we can see if you still build. If the other libraries were able to listen in to this name change and update themselves. Not sure if they did, so we'll try to go again. And as that is building, I think I can handle add bank card failure. I think I can move you up here like that and move you like this, okay? And so that still builds, okay? So now what? All right, so I think I now want to take this, add card dependencies, and I think I want to, let's copy that right now, put it on a new line like that, and let's update the parameters, all these parameters in here to dependencies, and then it's add bank card or add card dependencies. All right, so now we have that. And so then we can say that, let's say our let account equal, and you can say dependent. Oh, do I even need to do that? Is account used anywhere else in here? Can I just say dependencies dot account like that? I don't think I use it anywhere else. Okay. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's go ahead and say that, where am I at? Let's go head up here and say let account equal dependency. Come here, dependencies dot account like that. That gets rid of some of the errors. So that was account right here. This query cards accepted is going to be let query cards accepted equal dependencies dot, and then you have, how's this work? It's just query. Okay. Now, okay, that's fine for right now. The name is descriptive. Now what else? So then there's an attempt add right here, right? So you can say uh, let's go ahead and use that name that we have right here and let attempt add equal, and then you can just say up here your dependencies dot triad. Okay. What else? You have your card failure handlers. All right. So you can say let card failure handlers equal, and then you say dependencies, and then there should be error handlers dot and adding bank card. And I think this should be error handlers for adding bank card. Or you could say error handlers, and then you can just say for adding bank card. Or I think I just rather do it up here and say error handlers, and then just say for like this. And so then, see, that didn't update, but I should be able to error handlers for adding bank card. I don't like the way that reads. I'm going to change you back, and I'm going to go over here and say here it's going to be for adding bank card. And then This would be for other. Okay. So then that means that I can take that and put that right there. And so then there's other error handlers, right? But that's not needed anymore. Well, yeah, it is. We just say let that error handlers equal, and then you could just say dependencies dot error handlers dot for other, like that. Now there's no more squigglies in here, right? There's no more squigglies in here. Okay. Now what? Well, this error handlers, we could say non-card failure handlers. Non-card, or you could non-add error handlers, something like that. I don't like that name. I don't like that name at all. We could just call this general error handlers. That name looks better to me. Okay. Now what? Well, since I modify the parameters for this add bank card view model, I'm sure I just broke a lot of stuff, right? Specifically in my tests. And so remember, this is add card dependencies. And so I'm going to have a record type that will need to accommodate. I'll probably just put this in my mock ultimately. But right now, I'll take this and it will be a, you could say let dependencies equal. And we can say that this dependencies is going to be a add card dependencies, right? And then we can say that that is going to be equal to, and then we can just start saying that the application is, we should say mock dot, how does this work? I'm going to say mock application right here. And then page, replace the colon with the equal sign. And maybe I could say mock page like that. Okay. Not sure if that's going to ride. It looks like it does. And then, oh yeah, this stuff needs to be up here. Okay. And what else? Well, do I need to put you in parentheses? I don't know if I do or not. Looks like I don't. And then account is mock dot. Where's my account needs to have an equal sign. Let's put equal signs on everything. That, 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 that. Okay, so now say mock dot, and this mock isn't showing up anywhere. Can I where am I at? I'm in my mock. That's why. Okay. So I could have some account like that. Query is going to be this query bank card supported. And that is going to be query, I call that cards accepted. So we should rename that to supported. Okay. Oh, what just happened? Why do I have this spinner? What was that? Let's try this again. We have query cards accepted. I just want to rename. I just want to rename that to. This isn't working out. Rename it up here then. Say query cards supported. That's not working, but this is what it needs to change to. The triad right here is a, I don't know, it's something add. Is that anywhere in here? This attempt add is, that's not going to find anything, or will it? Test API is successful add attempt. But this is supposed to be a, what's this over here? Bank card equals whatever. Okay, that looks like that's what it's supposed to be. Something like that. And this error handler is over here. I don't know yet. Just empty. Uh-oh. This error handler is not a list. This error handler is a error handlers for, right? And so we need to say that this error handler is over here. There probably needs to be something else that we mock out and say let error. I'm still in my mock, right? Error handlers for adding. What about this right here? This needs to be a error. How does this work? I didn't mean to do that. Up here, I need to say this is error handlers for, and then I put it right here, and this is supposed to be a for adding bank card. And these are all lists. So say this is going to be equal, and this is going to be equal, and I'm just going to make both of these empty lists for right now. Something like that. Okay. So now I should be able to say this right here. And maybe I should call this add card error handlers like this. And so then there's a request page handler or page request handlers. And I'm just going to make that a list. Can I do that? And that looks fine. Okay. So now what? So I have this. I just define my dependencies for a add card for adding a card. So now I should be able to throw that in here without any issues. Okay. Now what? Well, there's no squigglies in this file, but it shows that add bank card over here has some issues. All right. So now that I have my dependencies, I think I want to throw these dependencies in my mock file, aka module. Uh-oh, where am I at? And I was in my mock file. Okay, so I'll do this over here. And I will do this over here. And this will be called a, hold up, this will be called add bank card dependencies, bank lowercase rd dependencies, like that. And so then you can have this over here. Okay. Now what? Well, I can try to build to at least sync up this add bank card dependencies that I just created right here in my mock file. And now I should be able to say that for instantiating a, let me see, I'm going to copy this and I am going to, something like that. And then over here, I'm going to say that this is going to be mock dot add, oh, what just happened? Mock dot add bank card dependencies, and that should be straight. Okay. So then I'm going to take that and I am going to uncomment out the original line that I had. And then I'm going to search and replace in this document that line with this new line that I just created. So that gets rid of most of the issues. Now over here, there's a mock failed attempt. Okay, so over here, I'm going to, how do I want to do this? I want to, how do I want to do this? I want to do that right there. I want to say, let the, how do I want to say this? Dependencies equal. And I want to say that it's going to be this record that's going to be this mock.add bank card dependencies with, and I want the, in this case, we see that there's a mock failed add attempt. So I want to say with try add equal to, and it will be mock dot fail add attempts, and that appears to be okay. So then I can say this is going to be that dependency, like that. And that should be okay. Okay. Now what? Well, if that's okay, then I want to go down here. And it looks like the same issue. And I just want to be like, oh, like that. Okay. And do something like that. Okay. Now, I have one more error over here. And that for other is really called for, what is this? It's just called other. That should be called for other. Something like that, which I thought I did already, but, and the spacing here is messing with my OCD. Okay, so now what? If I try to build the solution, I think everything should build. Okay. And la la la. My system namespaces that I'm importing, well, you guys should be probably at the beginning since you're very, very low level. Something like that. Yeah, come here. Okay. Oh, yeah, and you're supposed to say for other, like that. Okay. Now what? Well, now let me see. I guess everything built. So let me see if my test still pass. And there's a likelihood that I might have done a copy paste boo boo, but I'll see if my tests still pass. And if they don't, hopefully it shouldn't take too much troubleshooting to figure out why. Okay, so I'm waiting for you to, well, the build succeeded. Okay, fine. Now run my test and the test pass. Okay. Now what? All right, well, now if I can, not sure if I should archive this towards the next video, but in app.foundation, we still have this notion of Pelagic view model factory. Okay. And so what needs to be done sooner or later is that there's this notion of a view model that is going to be called a add bank card. And well, that needs to be, not sure what is happening. Okay, so there's this dependencies, page request handlers. I'm not sure if I need to worry about all of that. You know, all that deals with page request handlers. And actually, I think I'm dealing with page requests. Yeah, I'm dealing with page requests right here. So I have to handle that. So if I go over here, I'll just copy paste this. And let's see how this works. And all that is okay. Okay. Sounds too good to be true. This handle is right here. Okay. So now what? This initialize is now called on there. So now I have two view models that are in my view model factory. I have my bank cards view model and I have my add bank card view model. Everything succeeds. Now, if I have my view model factory add bank card view model, oh, that is going to change some things. It's going to take dependencies, but it's also going to take a iApplication interface and an iPage interface. And so it makes me think that maybe I should revisit this and say that this add bank card view model should not be created arbitrarily, which I don't know, I'll figure out if that's worth doing. It's kind of like an object-oriented programming, making it like a private constructor. But I don't know, I'm not going to get into that right now. There's going to be a view model factory right here, and there's a bank card view model. Okay. And remember, that takes, how does this work? That takes dependencies. But there's something else that's missing because it is also supposed to take an app and a page. So we should be able to say mock app location, and we should also be able to say mock page. Okay. And that isn't working out. Okay. So now what? Well, the error says that the expression was expected to have type, whatever. Okay, so get rid of the commas and maybe the parentheses too, something like that. Now, if I do that, then that means that I would have to wrap this and wrap that. And that would build. Okay. Something else that could be done. I could, if I really wanted to show how cool I am, I could do something like this, where I have, say I have within parentheses, I re-add my commas like this, and then I could say triple bar pipe like that, and then that makes me look really cool. Okay. Now what? Yeah. So what else? Okay. Well, let's assume that I'm doing that. All right. What does that mean? Well, that means that, let me replace that. Okay. Now what? What does that mean? Well, mock add bank card dependencies is this right here. I'm supposed to say mock in front of it. Mock dot. Okay. So now you're using you're relying on Pelagic to do it for you. Okay. Now what? I don't know. Like, all this still sits on one line. Would it be more readable if I just had it like this? And I don't think it would. Okay, so now what? Well, let's find an arbitrary line like this right here, and you just replace it with our, oh, what do I do? You replace it with our new way, like that. Okay, so that should replace everything else in here. So now I have a view model that is wired up to use a iApplication interface and a iPage interface. This view models is no longer being needed. Okay, so then I do run all, and hopefully my test still pass. And my test still passed. And there's something else. I think there was another. Maybe not. I'm not going to trip on it right now. Okay. So now what do we have? Well, let me clear all these windows. Okay. If I go back to my app.foundation, in my app logic, I have this view model factory. And this view model factory now has support for bank cards view model and add bank card view model. Okay. Now what? This add bank card view model, where's this used outside of my test? Well, we'll see that if we do Shift F12, we can get the references. All this is screaming test, 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 test. Okay. All right, that's not what I want. If I do Control F on Add Bank Card Model, then I see that all this is still tests, which means that Add Bank Card View Model just isn't being used yet. Okay, but I know that. How does this work? There should be like handlers over here. That's not what I'm looking for. How does this work? UI logic, is there anything in here? Nope. Okay, somewhere in here, if I go back to if I go to app, we know that it initially starts with our add bank card. Okay. No, it starts with our bank cards view model, and we call initialize on that. If I look at the bank cards view model, that is right here. Then when they press the add bank card, well, let me see. There should be let me collapse this. There should be a add bank card right here. There's a navigate that gets involved here. That navigate is you take your account and you pipe that into a page request for add bank card. Okay. And you broadcast that message to handlers, which is request page. Okay. So there's a request page that's somewhere in here. Okay. That is being referenced by, doesn't look like it's being used. So I know it's being used because I can navigate there. So request page is I don't see it being used. Okay, so go back to my bank. Let me see, bank cards. And I'll put a breakpoint on this broadcast. I'll attempt to run this application. And well, I should be able to see my handlers. Hold up, let me scroll up some. There's this the solution is building, and I think all this stuff, this navigation is probably going to be done based on what I have in my mock. So I'll probably have a mock behavior for navigating to the add bank card page. And so I think that would be in if I re-reference my factory over here, then yep, that's this right here. Handle add bank card. Okay. Which means that over here, there's a page request. And okay, so I have it now. We probably want to add a new one and say page request, what? Last page. Something like that. And that is going to be of what? I don't know. I don't think I should have to do anything. Something like that. Okay. So now what? Well, so if I go back to my add bank card here, there should be a handle, and then there will be a last page like that. There is no payload for right now. And then we just say that our app.main page is going to be, in this case, in this case, we really don't have to mock navigating to the original page, right? I don't think we need to do that. Um, I don't think we need to do that. So that can just be this right here, I think. This app won't be used. Yeah, it's still used right there. Okay. This last page should be pretty unique. Maybe this page request last page is kind of useful. Okay. So now what? Well, this is a view model factory though. And so I think this view model factory it needs to be testable. And what I think we need to revisit is that it should actually do a navigation. Like, we're not in our mock library. This is the app logic. And so we can't do this right here. We need to actually perform a navigation to the last page. So the last page should probably be our application. We probably need to pattern match on. So you can say, like, how can this be done? You have your app, and then you can say you pipe that app into a function, okay? And that will probably be, let me figure out how to do this. I think if we want to pattern match on type, well, we can't pattern match on type, I don't think, because it's just an I application. We can attempt to cast it, maybe. Uh, okay, let's imagine that we could pattern match on type. So this app could be, but it's already it's already I application, so that's what it's going to be. Or it could be a Xamarin Form set application, or it could be a mock application. Okay, so we can say that it's going to, we take the app and we want to run pattern matching on it via this function keyword right here. And I think, how does this work? Do we do question mark colon and then say mock application? I forgot how you pattern match on types. And then that would be your, well, you already have, how would this work? Something like that. Then you pipe. So it's not question mark colon. And I know it's not colon, okay, I could try that. Is it colon question mark? And this would be what? This would be our Xamarin Forms application. Something like that. Okay, so that I just imported. Like that. Now what? Well, right here it says incomplete pattern matches. What probably needs to be considered is that because we're in the actual system, we probably don't want to admit that we have knowledge of a test or even test infrastructure. And so, meaning that we could probably just, it'll be safer and probably lead to less maintenance concerns if we don't program our tests into our system under test. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, that means that if it's our application, then we have our forms app. And will it let me do that? It says unexpected identifier. How do you do this? Let me see. If I go to F sharp, I'm almost positive I can. Well, even if I don't, I can do something like this. Let's imagine that I couldn't grab the application from there, which I think I can. I could still theoretically do something like this where I say, let forms app equal, and then I can say app, and then I think it's something like this to application, like that. And then if that is correct, then I could probably say that forms app dot, and then I can say, I don't know what this navigation proxy is. Pop async is probably what I want to do. It says, well, hold on, that says that's internals. This remove page. Okay, so maybe I have, well, there's a navigation stack, and then maybe with that I say, uh-oh. Okay, so how do you navigate back using Xamarin Forms? So you say Xamarin Forms navigate back or navigate last page. I'm going to close the current page and go back to the previous page. Okay, so then they have navigation. Okay, so you have application, current page, navigation, pop async. That's what they do. So go back over here, and so you have your Forms app, and you can probably do something like Forms app dot current. Uh-oh, Forms app dot. Let's imagine that this is current main page, and then boom, like that. Okay. Why am I still getting squigglies? Why am I still getting squigglies? All brand. Why am I still getting squigglies? this pop-up sync. This pop-up sync is returning a page. Okay. So I should be able to. How do you await a task in F# that returns a page? Now over here, like they just say remove the page currently on top, and that's going to return. I assume the page that's on top if you want to do anything with that page later. In this case, I don't care about that stuff, but this is a task, and so now there's a continue with. There's a get awaiter, and it gets an awaiter used to await this task. Okay, and then what? And then is that it? No. All right. So I need a. That's task awaiter. Okay, that needs to return something. And then maybe it's get result after that. And then from there, that get result is probably going to return some, or that returns page. And then you can say ignore because I don't care, right? So that's what it probably looks like. So then we could probably say that we could probably take this and we can probably put this up here, and we can probably put that in there and that in there like that. Okay. And then what? Well, we can then probably do something like that, and then do that, and then do that, and then do that. Maybe. Okay. We would definitely have to set a breakpoint in here. And is there anything else? No, but I have a feeling it looks something like this. Now, I don't think I need to do this right here. I think I should be able to grab the instance of what I'm pattern matching on in regards to type. I think I should be able to get that in here, right? And so I'm almost positive I can do that. So then in something else is I probably want to revisit is like this is I need to figure out how to do a weight in here. But I want to say F# pattern match type. Okay. And so over here, Stack Overflow, there is okay, they use the as right here. So boom, boom, hold up. Okay, so they say application, then you can say as forms app like this. Okay, hopefully that'll be logged into my memory. And so then you can say forms app dot main page. Okay. And if you want to be cool, then you can probably do that over here, and then we can just bring this down here. That's okay. And well, maybe we don't even have to say app. Maybe we just say that right there, say forms. Do something like that. Okay. So Control Shift B, and I'm not going to actually test this logic out in regards to UI in this video. But something else looks off on here. But I'll probably do that in the next video. Make sure that my tests still pass. The test still pass. Okay. So now what? Well, let me commit my latest updates and say that this is partial support for what? For, in this case, add bank card. I'll just go add bank card like that. Okay. And then you just go ahead, commit on push. Okay. So what was accomplished? Well, so far, I think there's a couple things. In the account domain, if I could zero in on the account domain, then the specification was updated for the account domain. Specifically, the query bank cards has been added today. Not query bank cards, sorry. Query bank card supported was added today, whether it was this video or the video before. Handle bank card failure, I added as a new type operation. I added the error handlers for. And that can be error handlers. I should be able to do that. Pro Shift B, and then you say error handlers what? For adding bank card, for other. Okay. And I updated bank cards dependency. No, I didn't. I updated add card dependencies, in which I gave it an application, a page, a query, and I think page request handlers. Okay. In the tests, I went ahead and made the test rely on a view model factory, specifically that would produce an add bank card view model. Now, that view model factory is, I don't think I need to reference that specifically. I think I could get away with open. I think I could do open Pelagic view model factory like that. And then I think I can just do this right here. Okay. And if I could do that right there, then that means that I can get rid of this view model factory dot, and I could just, in this document specifically, replace all with emptiness. Okay. So that is you mock add bank card dependencies, you take your application, you take your mock page, and with that, you will produce an add bank card view model that we can then leverage in our tests. Okay. Anything else? Oh, I think that's it. So, oh yeah, in the view model, add bank card view model, that now has been updated where I take the dependencies and I extract out the specific items in the dependencies that I'm going to use within the business logic of my view model. And yeah, in the last video, I added this logic for retrieving expiration years and expiration months, which originally I was strongly considering or almost set on that this would come from a database. But then I was like, well, do I really need to rely on the external system? Or can I safely derive these expiration years and expiration months with a high degree of confidence. And I decided that, well, maybe the answer is yes. You take date time now and you include that right here. Then I'll just add the next 6 years that maybe it would expire, because I can't see a bank card expiring 10 years from now. But I think 6 years is probably more than enough, if that's even allowed. All right, that's it. So since I made some little touches on here, commit, and then formatting, commit all and push, and that's it. So I think that was a cool video, and I'm out and I'm hitting stop broadcast button.